What's up, everybody? My name is Cummings with Lionheart Baseball, Lionheart Athletics. I'm here with my son, Joshua Cummings. He's 19 years old. Joshua, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah. My son is, he's done his first year in college at South Carolina. As a matter of fact, I'll let him introduce himself. Joshua.
So yeah, my name is Joshua Cummings. Just finished my first year freshman at Morris College up in South Carolina. Sumter, South Carolina to be exact. It was pretty good. It was an interesting start to say the least. I would say it will be a place to go if you need a stepping stone. You'll do your first 2 years there, or if you're planning to do all 4 years academically, perfect place to go to. They have all the academics you need, sports wise. First college I got to go to, so I can't say nothing bad, but you just need to make sure that you get your stats up there, because the squad that we have right now, not the greatest, but hey, you got to make do what you got, Yeah.
Cool. This is the first year back. As a matter of fact, he's leaving today, and he's been working hard all summer. My son, Joshua, he knows hard work. He knows 3, 4, 5 hour practices. I've been coaching him ever since he's about 5 years old, and 19 now, so that's about, 14, 15, what's that? 14 years with the, including with college and stuff like that. But the reason why I'm doing this video is for all the athletes. I'm doing it also for the parents who are getting ready to, get their kids ready for college or even for high school or just the next level altogether. We're going to talk about the road that that we went on, the road that we traveled on since he was 5. The key parts is around about 13 or 14, and then high school, middle school and high school. So like I said, I've been coaching him since he's about 5 years old, and his older brother started playing the game of baseball, and then as a matter of fact, I grew up. I played baseball 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Tennis is my background. Basketball is my background. Football is my background. But tennis, the side to side, and never letting the ball bounce twice, made baseball and every sport really easy. I'm a firm believer of a conditioned player is going to beat an unconditioned player any day of the week. He just needs to learn how to play the game. But once he learns how to play the game, it's never too hot, never too cold. The whole thing is just fun. Joshua, what do you think about that?
No, everything's true. Being here, especially being here in Florida, conditions extreme. Literally earlier today, I'm just relaxing in the garage, 99 degrees inside the garage. No, I could tell you, but training on the baseball field hits 101. You're about to pass out, but you just got to keep on going. So, training, you got to be in peak condition when you get to that higher level. So, training here, perfect conditions.
Yeah. Over there last night, I heard that you said that it gets to 100 degrees over there.
Sometimes in South Carolina, it does get up there. Just the days after a rainy day, clear sky, sun's right out, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or no, right? Yeah, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, sun's beaming right down on you. We're on the fields Saturday, especially on Saturday too. It gets to 101. That clay, it heats up.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. That good ball players, real ball players, it's never too hot, too cold. You just love being out there. So when my son decided to play baseball when he was like 5 or 6 years old, it's because he was watching his older brother. And then one day, his mother said, she said, he wants to play. And I was like, really? And I know what's inside my son. I've always wanted, I have 2 boys. He's Joshua's my second. My oldest is about 29. Athletics in our blood. I have a younger daughter now. She's 8. She's running track. She's actually doing pole vaulting, which is wild. I never thought that, you could teach an 8-year-old pole vaulting, man. It's amazing. We're very serious about nutrition, rest, and schoolwork. Anytime the kids came on the field, when I was coaching, first thing I asked them, how's your grade? Not how's your grades, but how's your day at school? And they always tell me, yeah, it's good, or whatever it is. Your homework done? or I'm telling you, if you get any complaints from your teachers or your parents, you don't play. It's that simple. So I'm going to get into this interview real quick. I'm going to get into this interview now. So when Joshua was like 5 or 6, he started playing t-ball. But the day that he decided to play baseball, I said, this is a really tough sport. When I played, like I say, the tennis players don't miss balls. We don't miss balls. We just either can't get to them, or we'll hit them in the net, or we'll hit them out. But we get to, it's just side to side. So with that, baseball was easy for me. I struck out maybe 3 times in 3 years, playing against schools like, all the private schools and things like that. But when I went to the All-Star game, those guys can throw. These guys can throw. And I'm talking about, I've never seen a ball come through looking like an egg. The boy, yeah, that bad boy looked like it was about to hit me, right? And one of the funny things about it is when he was about 14 or so, we used to do so much training in the cage and just cage work and be in the cage for like 2 or 3 hours at times, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. New Year's Eve for sure. What, 4 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours, man. His arm is about to literally fall off, and he won't leave until he gets that last shot. New Year's Eve. It happens every year. But when he decided to play the game, I said, man, this is a really tough game. And, being that I loved every sport, basketball, football, baseball, tennis, things like that, I said, you're going to have to master hitting I said it to myself, you're going to have to master hitting a 90-mile-an-hour pitch before we move on to anything. I think football brings out the raw in a man. It brings out the man in a boy. And that's one of the things that I wish, if I could turn the clock back and put him out on the football field. But at the time when that was happening, there was a lot of talk about concussions. So it's like, you don't even touch it, especially when mothers don't really understand how the game works. The last thing they're thinking is their baby go out there and get, just come back with his head all twisted up. And football is no joke. If you don't know what's going on and you're running down that field and you don't have your head on a swivel, man, dudes are literally lurking like sharks to take your head off. So I said, we're going to work on this game, master this game, and then I'll teach you how to lift weights. So the aggression that he didn't get to see on the football field, he learned it in the gym. We've had guys, I had a guy come up and say, man, you guys are really chopping some wood over here. We didn't play around. A minute and a half between every set. It was like a constant train back and forth to the water fountain, to the spot, water fountain to the spot. And especially when his brother was there, the 3 of us, it was just a constant train. And we used to get through a workout in about maybe hour and 15 minutes. When I'm by myself, it's about 50 minutes, but we work hard. So, anything you want to say about that?
I would say mainly this past summer, I wasn't really with my dad too much, but I still implemented those that regimen. Sometimes even got to 45 minutes. I'm just straight, just going at it. Sometimes I'll get too much into it, so then I'll just go back to back sets. I just feel good, just go back to back. Sometimes 45 minutes, and then 20 minutes of just conditioning, running, whether being on the treadmill, and then probably 10 extra minutes on the Stairmaster or on the bike, just going at it.
Yeah.
And definitely helped out a lot. But just the gym is where it's at.
Yeah.
You
guys have to get in the gym. I see so many players on the field.
Real quick, that too, because there was also one day, I didn't tell you this, but there was one day where I was going at it, but I didn't stretch because I was running on time. I took a nap. I didn't set my alarm, and I woke up. It was 10 a.m. Gym closed at 11. I was like, I got to get to the gym now. So I got in the car, went to the gym, and I'm like, I should be good. I started going at it. Bench too. I started hitting the bench. By the 3rd set, I just felt something just right here, and I stopped immediately. It was 5 reps in. I just felt like a sharp pain. I stopped immediately, racked it, and then I was like, all right, that's it. I went home. I did my stretches at home because I just need to get home, make sure something didn't happen, and I had my mom there. My mom is a nurse right now. She's working with baby, stuff like that, but she still knows about the human body. So I just went home, plus my brother too. Went home, stretched, and I just started feeling it a little bit. So I just started doing some stretches. I called my mom over. She was like, "You just overdid it. You forgot to stretch." So I was like, "All right, cool." Every single time I went to the gym, made sure I get there at least 30 minutes before. Just stretch for 20, 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stretching is key, man. I've learned it now. For your parents, that's a whole nother video. I learned my lesson a couple years ago, thinking it's all good. When with the gym, we work really hard and things like that. So going into when he was like 6, 7, and 8, we worked all the time, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. His mother said, "You know that you work him every day," and I was like, "I don't work him every day." She said, "You work him every day." I was like, "Nah." She said, "Yeah, you do." She said, "Look, Monday and Tuesday, we practice. Wednesday we got game. Thursday you got practice again. Friday you don't have practice with the team, but if they want to come out, they can come out. You have them out there. Saturday we got game, and on Sundays you take them out there sometimes." And I was like, "Yeah, it's true."
Yeah.
So this part of the video of the interview is for the fathers. One of the things that I learned, you go so hard, and especially like sports is my life, man. Sports is my life, and I know what's in him. I know what he's capable of, and also too, I know what's in his mother. She's a strong woman, and she goes and gets. So with that, the passion and the athleticism, I know what's in him. So it was a constant work. It was like there was no days off. So this one is for the fathers that are all the time. The reality is of going to the top, and the reason why we're doing this video is why I'm doing this interview is for you to understand and for you to hear straight from the horse's mouth how tough it gets, and sometimes they don't want to do it anymore. And I saw that around about 13 or 14. He just didn't have that fire to go out there. And I knew that he couldn't quit. I couldn't let him quit, because if he quits, all of this potential goes in the air. But on that day, I learned, because of so much training in the cage and so much work going into it, that you get so excited as a parent, as a father, to see him perform, and you already know how good he is. I see the reps. I see when, if he misses, I already know he's gonna be on in like 2 seconds. There was one time that he was battling. He had 2 strikes on him. He missed the first one, but then he nicked the second one. Then he nicked the third one. And then he nicked the fourth one. But the nicks start getting thicker. And I said, once he kisses that ball, once he thinks, as long as he doesn't miss, he's going to hit. And he must have fouled off about 6, 7, 8 balls, and then about six foul tips. And on that 7th one, that bad boy was a rocket deep center field. And those are the things that you love as a father, you love as a coach. But what I'm here to tell you today is to learn to dial it back. Around about 13 or 14, when it was at a game at Keysgate, this high school, and one of the toughest things as a coach, a coach and father coach, is when they watch strike 3 go by. Remember that one?
Yeah.
What it is that the same thing that happened to me. They're studying the game. They're studying how this guy can throw. Like what is that? It's something that they've never seen, and they get into a zone where they study. And then just like that, it goes by, and they're like, "Oh no, that was strike 3." And oh shoot, my father's gonna be pissed, right?
Yeah.
My father's gonna be pissed. What happens is they're more doing it for us instead of enjoying the game, and that's not how it's supposed to be. And ironically, on that same game, one of the umpires, he was an international umpire, a tall white guy looking like Fire Marshal Bill, man. You got all your old schoolers got to know, but he's skinny, man. He loved to dance. he loved to dance Spanish music. Every time they put it on, he would go and be doing like this and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
remember him?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was cool. But one day, that same day or maybe another day, he stopped me at the concession stand out of nowhere. I don't know, but everything is God sent. He said, "Dad, you want me to tell you a secret?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You don't want your kids to be at their best when they're young." And I was like, "What?" He said, "You don't want them to be at their best." He said, "You want them." He said, if they're not good, or if they're goofy, or if they're missing or whatever, he said, you want them to be that now." He said what it is that he said he's seen so many good players that are so good at the beginning, but after a while, around 15, 16, and 17, the rest of the field catches up to them. And he said when they catch up to them, they don't know how to handle it and they walk away from the game. And that in itself is really tough. And that's got to be a tough blow because of all the work and things that go into it. And when he told me that, I was like, man, at first I was like, nah, man, we got to go hard in the paint and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But then when I thought about it, and I was mad when he let strike three go by, when he looked up after going into the dugout, afterwards, all he saw was an empty chair. And he knew that I'm back there, and I was back there for like 45 minutes, just cooling down, like calming down. I wasn't throwing things. I'm not that kind of person who's slamming things, but in my mind, I was like, man, what's the story? I used to think it was Minecraft. I used to think it was Minecraft. Like it's, just where's your head? Where's your head? So, and when I finally calmed down, 45 minutes later, I came back and sat down, and I don't remember how the rest of the game went, but after the game was done, I was at the car. We're at the car, and he came walking up, and he was like this, like literally like this, come walking up like this, and he knew like it's coming. And then I said, and fathers, this is it right here. These magic words are, I said, he came up and he's like, Dad, thing, and I said, Joshua, you're learning how to play the game. I said, you're learning how to play the game. And when I said that, he was like this, and then he looked up and he's like, really? Like, you're not mad, or you're not going to go into this long thing? I said, yeah, I'm going to talk. In the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk, but you're learning what it is. You're learning how this thing works. And ever since I did that, he started coming back to me with what's in his head. And to me, as a parent coach, that's all you ever want from your kids, is to find out what's on their mind. What are they thinking? And so we can have a conversation instead of it being a one-way street all the time. And especially in anything that they're doing that they might not even like anymore. As a father and as a parent, I think sometimes the kids, they see this game, especially baseball. They pass by the field and they go, "Ooh, mom, baseball," or "Ooh, dad, baseball." And then the parent turns and says, you want to play? And he's like, "Yeah, I want to play." But then when they go out there, and after a while, they realize that ball is zinging by their head at like 40 miles an hour. And sometimes they get hit, and mentally they check out. And once they check out, you won't know the physical part of them checking out for like weeks, or sometimes even a month or so. But mentally they checked out. So when he started, and then also too, you have the whole theory of, well, you can't quit. You can't quit. You got to stick it through, and things like that. So the kid is like trapped in there. So this interview is for parents to get into allow their kids to talk. And that's another thing. When so many times I would talk to the kid and find out like, hey, what's your favorite position? What's your favorite player? Things like that. Right away, the parent would answer. The kid goes, and he was like, oh, he likes Otani. Or oh, he likes Beck. Give me one of the boys.
Cody Bellinger.
Bellinger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes them. And they would answer, and the kid is like, and after a while, they just stay like this. It's because the parents or the father is too into it. Allow them to be. And also too, you have to realize that it's such a long road. It's really a long road. We tend to live like day by day, like today is the most important day, and it is. It is. But once you see that smile start to go this way, as a coach, I can tell you right now, no matter what you teach them, whatever, no matter what you tell them, whatever you teach them, it's not registering. They just don't want to be there. So it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and then they start to hate the place. They start to hate the game, hate the place, hate you, dislike you, and you don't want to go through that. It's a game. It's made to be fun. Another thing that I see on the MLB is that guys make awesome plays, and then they go, this game, it's a game, it's a sport, it's a game to have fun. Chop it up, man. Shoot, what's wrong? Hey, boy, what's wrong with that boy? My thing is out, man. And have fun. What do you say about that, champ?
No, having fun is the key thing. Especially, I started learning more about that, especially when I was up in college, because I'm on my own mainly, and it's more that you got to fight to get your stats up. You got to fight for your position, but then if you're fighting while having that frown on with being serious, it's not really going to work out so well. But I knew that me playing as a catcher, I'm sitting behind the plate and I'm just sitting there. I'm just there. So I got to make my own fun out of the game. Because the only thing that I could do, receive the ball, block it, and throw the runners out. So then me, while I'm doing all of that, I'm just having fun. I'm just talking, rapping to the blue, making fun of the batter, just talking about, man, your shoes are tight. That worked twice. I said, your shoes are tight. He looked down and he hit me with the bat. He slapped me on the helmet, man. Be quiet, bro. I'm trying to focus. So it's all about having fun, and even having fun with your pitcher too. Make sure that your pitcher's laughing, because your pitcher, he's up there. Everybody's looking at him, and some people, they don't like the stage. They don't like being up there with everybody watching them, but they have to do it. Not even have to do it. It's in the job. It's in the job. Everybody's watching you. So as the general, as his partner, you got to go up there. This is for the catchers, man. You just got to go up there, make sure that he has a smile on his face, make sure he's laughing, make sure that he has the coach out of his head. Because sometimes the coach doesn't even know what he's talking about. Some coaches do. Some of the pitching coaches, they made the pitcher, but then sometimes the pitcher has his own game plan. So it's more get everybody out of his head, and you guys are gonna have a beautiful game. You guys are gonna have a fun game, and then too, as the general, if everybody sees the catcher having fun, the catcher's having fun sitting down in a squatted position for over an hour, if he's having fun, everybody's going to start catching it. Everybody's going to have fun. Even the other team is having fun. Sometimes I'm catching the team joking around with me. So, it's more just about having fun.
That's cool.
And everybody's going to elevate. The other team's going to elevate, and that game is just going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what childhood memories do you have being 5, 6, 7, 8 years old? T-ball, coach pitch. You got any memories or anything that you remember?
I think the one thing that I did remember, I'm gonna go a good one and then a bad one.
Yeah, no, and most importantly, I want you to let it out like we talked about before, because the kids want to know. 8-year-old kids are watching, 10, 12, and everybody. So what you got?
And it's not even with you. It's more just gonna be a good one about a good one with me, and then a good one more about a lesson. So the first one was actually with my dad. Every single time we were over by, we lived in the Richmond Heights, Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were just in the cage, and one day, what was it? I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember that what we used to do in the first few rounds is we hit a basketball, right? We had a tee, we had a plunger to hold the basketball, and then we were just my dad, he would just have his finger on top of the basketball like this, and I would just hit the basketball with the donut on sometimes too, and we would just practice hitting the basketball. And luckily, one day, my dad was not paying attention. He was on the phone and he was holding the basketball.
Check my finger right now. See what's stick out. That's why that lump is there.
And I think it was one of those days where I was just having fun, you know? I think the music was playing.
Always.
Yeah, music playing, dad's on the phone, he's just there, and I'm just having fun. I'm just going through it because we did this every day. So it started becoming fun, you know? And one day, I don't know what exactly happened, but I think I got distracted by something, and I was mid swing, and I go to swing, and my dad he lets go of the ball. He lets go of the ball, and I'm just tracking his hand. I'm just tracking his.
Lord.
I'm just tracking his hand.
None of that arthritis kicking in. That's not arthritis.
So,
I knew it was something. I'm too young for arthritis, man.
so I completely missed the ball, and I just barely nick his finger. And just imagine if his hand was there.
Oh man,
my dad would not be able to throw a baseball no more.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything that happened after that, but all I know is that I don't know what happened. But all I know is I just gotta keep my eyes on the ball. Don't get distracted. That's one thing.
The ball hit the ground, even with my hand, man.
Just keep your eyes on the ball.
Yeah.
And
any memories you have of the games, the practices, the games, or the fun times, the things that you enjoyed?
To be honest, when I was a kid, I don't really remember too much about the games. Mostly, I remember just me running around the bases. That's basically it. Me either hitting the ball or just running around the bases.
That's it.
But it would more be like one of the more recent games. I think it was. I think it was a game when I was at this school called ABF, right? This was my sophomore year of high school, so second year of high school. I was at the school called ABF, and I had this squad. I was actually having a lot of fun with this squad. We would always have fun, me catching. I think that's where I started to learn how to appreciate baseball for what it is, and appreciate it because I actually had a good squad to come with it, you know? Because some of the teams I was with before, they didn't really make the game fun. But then when I was at ABF, I was having a lot of fun and starting to learn new things. And then my hitting, that's where I was having the most fun because I was competing with my own teammates, and we were always competing on see who could hit the ball farthest or who could hit the most out of the whole season. And there was this one game, right, where I had three of the teammates. I forgot their name, but I know one of them. His name was it was Josh. Actually, it was Josh, and we were all competing, right? Because we were run 2 for 2. We still had I think 3 more innings left, so we had 2 more at bats. So then we made a bet. What was it? To see who could hit the ball closest to a point on the field, right? Because there was this flag that was on the field, on the right side of the field, and even coach jumped into it too. How you doing?
What's up, man?
That's a beautiful dog right there. Ooh, can I pet it?
You want to do it? Go.
Yeah. Can I pet him? Of course.
Go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So right, I was at ABF and coach made a little bet with us, give us I think $20. See who could hit a flag on top of the fence, or who could hit it closer to the fence, right? So first up was Josh, and what was it? First pitch he fouled it off. Second pitch he let go, and then the next 3 pitches were high in the sky, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, Josh, you ain't gotta worry about this. Ball 4, get the next at bat. Ball 4." And the very next pitch, beautiful outside pitch, smacks it right to the spot we're aiming for, but he misses it by a foot. Everybody in the dugout's like, "No!" And then what was it? Next guy who was in the bet, I forgot his name though, but he was a big bulky dude. I think it was Yoldi, but I don't think it was Yoldi. But Next one up, what was it? First pitch, he fouls it off towards right field line. At this point, everybody's aiming for. Even the people that weren't in the bet, they were all aiming for right field at this point. And then he fouls it off, and then very next pitch, he gets it, hits it over there. But what it does, it bounces off the ground because it was kind of like a pop fly a little bit. It bounces off the ground, and then it jumps up and hits the flag. Everybody's like, "Yeah, that's gotta count. That's gotta count." We look over the coach. Coach says, "Nope, has to hit the flag."
Oh man,
Has to hit the flag.
oh.
Mind you, if it hits the flag, it's a home run because it was on top of the fence. But it says, "No, you had to hit the flag." And then me, I come up. I'm like, "I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this." First pitch, inside pitch. It was such a beautiful pitch too. I completely forgot about the bet. I go after it, foul it off, fell off down the line. Beautiful shot too. If I got a little bit more of the barrel on it, it would have gone over. But then I'm like, all right, cool. I look back, everyone's like, "Josh, you're hitting it the wrong way. You're hitting the wrong way." I'm like, "What do you mean hit the wrong way?" He's like, "Remember, you got to hit the flag." I was like, "Oh, that's right, that's right." And then coach starts laughing over at third base, like, "Yeah, Josh, hit
Shout
the
out
flag."
to Coach Manny.
Coach Manny, yeah, Coach Manny. Like, hit the flag, hit the flag. And then what was it? So all right, cool. So now I gotta change up my whole little thing, gotta aim that way. And then next pitch, high inside, Blue calls it a strike. And then the next pitch was kind of low and away. It was a ball, still went for it, but I was able to nick it, so it fouled off. So like, all right, cool, I get one more shot. Best believe, very next pitch, outside, a little bit low, but it was a perfect shot. Just leaned into it, right? I even walked into it a little bit. I just walked into it, just shot out. It just shot out. Missed the flag completely.
Oh man, I thought you had the $20, man. Man, I
Missed
thought
the
we were
flag
$20
completely.
richer, man. I thought, man.
I got back in the dugout. Aaron was like, "Boo! You missed. You saw. Boo!" I'm like, "Come on, bro. Hit it over the fence at least."
I thought I had a mouth drop. I was like, "Yeah, buddy. That's my son. Hit that flag." Man, I said, "I ain't hit it up."
But I feel like that was one of the more memorable moments of at least my time at ABF.
Nice.
Yeah, it felt that was and after that I was like, all right, I gotta start aiming for what I want to hit, you know.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man. That's and I used to preach that a lot, man. Go out there and have fun. Like, man, have fun with the game, have fun. But it was only, he wanted to do so well, so bad that even having fun was like a job. It felt like a job, like he was being told to go have fun. So, like I said, the part of the, this interview is for the fathers and thing, and also to kids. Maintain, I know you guys are out there to have fun and you're doing the best you can. This is really for the fathers and those parents that are really like, when a man is having fun, it's hard to beat a man that's having a good time. He's relaxed. He can take the blows. It's like a rubber band. And then after a while, he bounces back. Bomb, bomb. In sports, you got sometimes when they have a rough inning and it's hard for them to get out of the inning and they're out there for 30 minutes. They sometimes they start the game really good and they're up and they're on this high and all of a sudden the team answers back with their own blows and like this. And then they come back to the dugout or they come back to the dugout and I always gather them up and I said, all right, it's tough for us to get those 3 outs. And they come back with their like eyes wide open. And I said, you have to learn, you have to know. I said, all right, they gave us some blows. I said, you have to learn how to punch and then you have to learn to take a punch and then you have to learn to fight back. You have to learn to punch back. And every time I said that, they refocused their mind, gathered themselves and went back out there and took care of business. When my friend he said one time, he said, beware of a man that comes to fight you smiling. I was like, oh, Dylan. And Holyfield went to go fight Mike Tyson smiling because he had God on his side and he went in there and it was history. So those are the good things. Anything that you didn't like as a player, especially being the son of a father coach? Was there ever any time like something that you didn't like, some feelings that you had you didn't want to or didn't like or wish this would change? For example, like if we practice too much or too hard on you about certain things, anything you have?
Um, I think the only time where I felt like we were doing too much was I think more just like getting ready to go to practice. Cause every single time I got on the field, I always felt better, you know? But every single time, like just for example, like waking up to go to school, for example, you don't want to go to school. But once you get there, it gets better. For me, it was more just waking up and just thinking about going to the field. I'm like, I don't want to go today, man. I don't want to go today. And it wasn't like that every day. So sometimes like, oh yeah, we're gonna go do this today, go do that today. And I was like, all right, cool. But there was some days where I'm just like, I don't want to go today. But then I get on the fields and I feel better, you know, I feel like, all right, cool, you know, it's not that bad. And then we start getting into it. And then it's more that there'll be times to where I would get lazy, and that's where things started to come a little more to that's where my dad started teaching me lessons, you know, started saying, all right, you gotta, he more got on me, he really got on me, but it was for the better, you know. So there'd be times where I'd say, man, I don't like this or I don't like that, but in the back of my mind I'm like, this is for the better of me, for the better of the game that I'm going to play, come college, come pro, even maybe come after that too. After I'm done with all the baseball, I'm still gonna want to get into it. So it's more that I need to appreciate all the stuff that I don't want to do, because come later, it's gonna help me out a lot.
Yeah.
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 So to answer your question, I complained, but it was how do I say it? I complained, but I knew that it was for the better of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Parents, it dads, parents, it comes with a funky balance. You mean well, we mean well. Um, you have to push sometimes, but sometimes you can push too hard. And that brings me to the point of alcohol and drugs, or any supplement, like any adult activity, man. Alcohol, drugs, or even the streets, man. When they're not enjoying themselves, they just want to get away from it, and you have to find a balance to keep them out there. Um, you have to find that balance. You got to find that balance, and I think to sit down and talk with them and let them, give you some feedback. Do you want to go today? Negotiate. Do a little negotiation. You want to go today, or you don't feel like going today? Well, let's go today, because I want you to push through the days that you don't, learn to push through the days that you don't want to go. And then tomorrow, let's take a day off. Let's take the day off or so. I don't think a person should ever take 2 days off, because that's just a bad habit. There's no need for that. I think when you take a day off to sleep, to rest. And one of the things that I'll tell you this, man, I used to stand over him for like 10, 15 minutes and just did not want to wake him up. I mean, it would hurt me to wake him up. I'm literally standing there like this and just watching him sleep. And I could see that he's in such a deep stage of sleep. But I knew that you got to answer that bell. If you sleep past it, he's gonna develop a bad habit of just, not pushing through. Um, is there anything that you would tell the 6-year-old you? Oh, before I even get to that, is there any other sport that you wish you would have played coming up?
Soccer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm realizing that literally this summer, one, because soccer is one of the most technical sports that you could get into, mainly because one, your hands mean nothing unless you're a goalie. Your hands are simply just to let you run faster. or just keep your balance. But other than that, it's one of the most technical sports, on par with tennis, which is just back and forth. But you're constantly running down a field and then running with the ball, and then keep your eyes everywhere around you. Me, I've only played a few games here and there. But out of those few games, I could tell you that much, that soccer is uh, top one of the best sports if you want to slim down. One, get the footwork right, and then two, make sure that you're training your peripheral vision, because you need to get everything right into here. And I feel like it's good for a lot of players that like to use their heads a lot, especially like catchers. We have to use our heads all the time. So I feel like soccer is one of those games where if you want to get away from baseball, just go to soccer. One, trains you move around a lot, because being a catcher, you got to be nimble. You got to get to that ball in time. You got to block it, get to the ball, and then throw someone out. So it's good for using your head. So I feel like soccer would be like one of the sports I'll get into.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that. You see, I didn't even know that. Honestly, didn't know.
Yeah.
So busy dictating and going this way. I love to hear what's on my son's mind, what's on my kids' minds, what's on my players' minds. I thought football. I thought he was going to say football and things like that. But I wanted you to play soccer a while ago for the footwork. It's just lightning fast, man. There's no substitution for speed. You can be as big as you want to be, but if you can't get this on the guy, and in the meantime he's going da 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 and keep peppering you, after a while that dude is going to give up. No substitution for speed. Yeah.
No, my bad. I just thought of something. There you go.
Yeah. Of course.
So, this is more just for like the newer generation, because there's a show called Blue Lock. He doesn't know about that, but I guess also my fondness for soccer also came from that show called Blue Lock. And one of the key things about this show is called ego. So every player has their own ego to be the best. And when I was playing those soccer games, you could just see some of those players had that. Despite them, sometimes they didn't watch the show. They just simply just have that ego to be the best, because only one person gets to score that goal. Only one person gets to block the goal. Only one person gets to dictate who's going to be on that field. And it's your job to make sure that ball gets in that goal. Your job to block that ball. And sometimes your job to stop that guy. So everybody has their ego. Everybody has that will to be the best. And I feel like playing soccer, or playing any sport, as a matter of fact, you just have to have that ego, that feel of, yo, I want to be the best at what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. I didn't know soccer was your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Let me make sure this thing is still recording.
I was about to say that because it goes for a while.
Yeah. Go self-forward. Let's go. All right. So just making sure that the video was still recorded. So what would be your advice on guys that are going to high school? What would you focus on?
Guys going to high school, mainly focus on competing. Because in high school, I know there's a lot of players there. There's a lot of players fighting for the same exact position, and that's everywhere. But strictly in high school is where you start out. Middle school is where you train a little bit, get the fundamentals down. But in high school, you have to compete with everything, making sure that you get your starting position, and that's by junior year. And sometimes some players, they transfer a lot, like what I did. I had to transfer a lot.
Transfer is a big thing.
Yeah. So you have to fight for your position all the time. And then once you get your position, you got to secure the position, which also gets me to the point of make sure that you learn everything. Not everything, because there's some things that college teaches you too, but make sure in high school you get everything that your coaches tell you. And then you also learn how you play, because everybody has their own way of playing, and you can't always do what coach says. You have to be unique. Be unique. Because if you play like how everybody else plays, you're just going to look the same, and the coach is going to be like, what does this guy have to bring to the table that everybody else already has? Like me, I like to take risks. And when I see a risk that I'm willing to take, I will take that risk. And I bet you 100% of the time that risk is gonna be worth it.
Talk to him.
Yeah. So
Talk to him.
that's me. I like
Talk to
taking
him.
risks. And my coach over at Morris College, he hates it. He hates it. He's like, Josh, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, but it works. So he'll take it.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So take risks, or at least that's me, but everybody has their own uniqueness that you need to bring to the table that coaches will appreciate you for if it works. And me, it works. For you, got to make sure it works. So compete, learn, and find what's unique about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I saw when I went to his college game here in Fort Lauderdale, they had like a 2 doubleheaders, 2 days in a row. And the other team, they had to be at least like 35 guys over there.
Yeah.
At least 30 guys. I don't know how many you can have in a dugout in a college team, but 30 guys, and there's only 9 that are going to go on the field. And his team wasn't the strongest team out there. So other guys got to play. I can see that other guys got to play the second day or the second game. But you have to go out there. You have to go out there and shake heads. The coach has to see you and see right away, like, I got to have that guy on the field because he's good at this or because he's good with his bat. With that, you're going to have to, and something very important. This is very important that a lot of players don't understand and don't know. They don't know. And parents too, this is for the parents as well, is every athlete, every ball player needs private coaching. They need private coaching. Because when you get out there, a coach has got 2 hours after school from 3 to 5 to teach his game plan to his players. And every once in a while, there's some things that they do, and the coach coaches them and says, you have to do it this way. You have to you got to get behind that ball, get down on your knees. You have to slide, or come on, you got to have that play. You got to have that, or this is what you do. But they don't have time to sit there and give you 30 reps at bat. How many reps you get college and high school when you BP?
High school wise, you get probably like 10 reps. College wise, you get a little more leeway because you have a lot more free time after practice. But high school wise, you need to make sure that every single rep counts.
Yeah.
Because come college time, that's all they see is how well can you handle 3 live pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be like instant rice, boy.
Yeah.
You got to add water, turn on heat, and you got to have rice right away. You can't sit there and be ding, 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 and like, no.
Yeah.
Every player, every athlete needs private coaching. You get 200-300 for us, for example, no less than 150 balls in the cage in one session. And that's in an hour and a half, hour and 15. But when we stay there like 2-3 hours, it's like 400 balls, like 400 balls and things like that. Yeah, as a coach does not have time to sit there and think. So you guys got to come in hot. You have to love running. Running cannot be the minute. And here's another thing I'm going to tell you right now as a coach. Your coach is always watching. Always. He can tell right away. I can tell right away if you put in work this weekend or not. I can tell right away. I can tell your movements are crisper, you're crisper, your bat's in a different slot, just everything about you can tell right away. And another thing too, when that coach sends you on a lap and he sees you walking halfway, and as soon as he lifts up his head, you start running, you might as well get ready for the bench. You might as well, because he's got 29 other guys, 25 other guys. And not only that, when the team starts trying out and people try, I think you can't even cut people in high school, right? Yeah, everybody just sits in the dugout.
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab a jersey and sit in the dugout. It sucks. Got to.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Got to. So you guys love running. Get into your running. Get into your conditioning. Nobody should tell you about running before you get to practice, or as practice starts, or before practice starts. Take a lap. Just take a lap. And when practice is over, take a lap. So when you're, after a while, running becomes nothing to you. Coach says, all right, everybody, let's go put your stuff in the dugout. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's do it. Let's take this lap. It's nothing to you. Then after a while, one lap is going to turn into 2 laps. Then you're doing 2 laps before, 2 laps after. One trip around the baseball field is a quarter mile. So when you do it 4 times, that's 1 mile in a day. You run 1 mile a day, 5 days a week, 5 miles a day. After a while, running is nothing. It's another thing when you get on first base and you're too big to run the second. I don't know what Big Poppy did, but I know if he didn't put it out the yard, he goes to first base. I think they took him out. That sucks. You never score. You never get to third base. You never know what it feels like to steal. Never know what it is to run the bases. Yeah.
And especially as a catcher, they don't let you steal, or they don't even let you run. If there's no outs, coach might let you have some leeway. 1 out, it all depends on your speed. Usually 2 outs, okay. Sometimes I would advocate, all right, 2 outs, you got to come back in, put your gear on. Last inning though, coach, leave me out there. I don't care if we get the run back and we get to go another inning. Leave me out there. Last inning, I need to risk it. But when there's 1 out, you got to have that speed. If not, coach is going to take you out and put in another runner for you. But sometimes that sucks, just having to walk back to the dugout, put your gear on. No, I want to stay out there and see if I could get my base.
Of course, man. That's what the game is all about. Sit there and hit, and all of a sudden somebody gets to come out and run for it, and you back in the dugout putting your gear on. I wouldn't even want to play.
And sometimes there's a reason why there's a designated runner on the team, because he can't play. And if he's not constantly playing, he doesn't really know. He doesn't really know what's gonna happen, So then now you gotta. What if you got a? Let's say you got an RBI, right? You're on a first base, and you're just ready to go, and all you see is just this guy. You just know for a fact he could run, but he doesn't know baseball, and all you got is just a guy who basically has your run in his hands. So you're basically leave it all up to that guy to make sure that he gets around the bases. And just imagine, it actually happened to me twice. It was brand new player. He doesn't even know how to play. I forgot his name, but he doesn't know how to play. All I know is he knows how to run. He has speed, like Eli De La Cruz type speed. But he doesn't know baseball. Very first game, coach said, "All right, Josh, come in." I was like, "All right, cool." It was 2 outs. I was like, "All right, cool." I go in. I look, not even 30 seconds. I'm putting my legs on. All I see, he's out of there. I'm like, what? I look up. He didn't even dive. He's standing up, straight up, not even on the base. Guy threw the ball to him. He's frozen like a deer in headlights. I'm like, you're joking, right? And we needed that run because we had a beautiful a guy who could place the ball, easy doubles all the time. He would have gotten third base. Very next guy, let's say he drops a nice bunt or simply just loops it over again, got the run in. But he cost us the inning because they just can't. They don't know the game of baseball, so you can't really leave it up to people who don't know what they're doing. You got to take it you got to take it for yourself. So you got to show the speed to the coach, and the coach is like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna leave you out there." Yeah.
That brings me to the point of sometimes you can be on the same team, you can be on a winning team, and you feel good. Yeah, man, we're winning. But you all have to remember as players that eventually you all are gonna do like this throughout the country. Or you're going to do that. This one's going to move away. This one's going to go to another school. And all of a sudden now the team, that guy that was helping to win, or you're like, your game is kind of mediocre. But you're on a winning team and you're a part of it. And that guy moves away and this other guy moves away. And now don't even forget about the winning. What about your future? What about your personal spot in this game? If you don't continue to work on your game and increase and improve your game, it's going to stop soon. It's going to stop right after high school, because college, they're not playing, right? College not playing.
Mm-hmm.
D1, D2, D3, all of that, they're not playing. Like I said, there was 35 guys in that dugout and only like 18 got to play.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And that's another thing.
Real quick?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that divisions don't matter, as long as you could hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And college wise, 87. The fastest I seen was 87, and I think I throw 86. No, I saw a 90-mile-an-hour pitch, 90-mile-per-hour fastball, a knuckleball, because that's becoming a thing now. I got stuff in my face. a knuckleball, and then a curveball. As long as you hit all three of those pitches, you could play whatever level you have to play at. It doesn't matter. You play D1. Me, I'm playing NAIA, D3, D2, D1. You can play wherever you want as long as you hit all those three pitches. But just because you play D1, D2 doesn't mean that you're going to get a spot to the bigs or even to minors. It's simply just about how you play. You can play on an all-star team, but if you're not standing out, nobody's really going to see that. You could be on a team that doesn't win a game at all, but as long as your stats are up there, as long as you're hitting these pitches, coaches are going to find you. Coaches are going to find you. Teams are going to find you, and they're going to be like, "We want you here. We want you to play for us." So it doesn't matter what division you play, as long as your stats are up there, and as long as you're hitting those three pitches, then you're fine. You know.
Nice. Yeah. As far as the pitching goes, I think there's two pitches: fastball straight and curve, curve, curve. That's it. And the changeup. That Bugs Bunny. Strike one, strike two, strike three, and that bad boy's coming by. That is going to be control, but fastball and everything else is curve. Fastball and this curve, that curve, that curve, and the changeup. You got to have private coaching, or your fathers. You just go through it. But that's how important that is. So here's this question. Came from this. It said, "What would you tell the 6-year-old you? What advice would you give the 6-year-old you, or the 8-year-old you?"
Try one. Always run, no matter what. Even if you don't have friends, always find to just run. Not even like running to build yourself. Just run. Just run. Just have fun. Make some friends and just run around. One is gonna teach you to love running, because running is everything. Every time you see someone outside, you just see them walking, and it's boring. But running, it's fun. Even me, I started learning to love running, and it's just you feel the wind on your face, the wind on your back. Just run, have fun, do whatever you want. Just keep on running, and that's one of them. And then two, try everything. Try doing everything. Try playing football. Try play basketball, tennis. Try playing soccer. Shoot, if you even somehow find a hockey stick, try playing hockey. Try everything.
Yeah.
So I would say just run and try everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conditioned player is going to beat an unconditioned player any day of the week. They're going to complain about the heat, the sun, and all that stuff. And somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. And the unconditioned player is going to go like this. Coach, it was just a good shot. It was a nice shot, but you could have gotten there. Don't want to dive and things like that. Coach, it was a nice shot. Yeah, it was a nice shot. Or you know what? You could have had that. And the guy that's going to dive, the guy that's going to lay out for a ball, as opposed to the guy just kind of run at it and like that, you already know the diving guy is getting it. So you got to have your core, your body. You guys got to get in the weight room. Brings me back to that. You guys got to get in the weight room. I walk around in all these fields, and I can probably count on one hand the guy, probably count on 20 guys that I've seen that you can tell they're in the weight room. They have a routine. They're dead serious about it. And as a coach, if I was a recruiter, or if I invited you to a recruiting, what is it called? A showcase, or I want to see what these guys are. And once I see this guy come through the door looking like this, and I'm not talking about like bodybuilding thing, but a guy that's just isometrically sound. He's sound here, he's sound in the legs. When I see that, right away I'm going to say, who is that? Whatever is he, if he's even halfway decent, I want him, because what I see is discipline. I see the discipline to go in there and learn to fight, to put your body through the toughest of things, the toughest of regimen, pulling weight more than what you weigh. And another thing too, when I see guys big up top and little legs, no, no, they're cheating. They're cheating the system. The reason being is because the leg day is the real workout day. It's the real workout out day. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy. But to do these squats, it comes from here. Once you do this right, when you do this right, you want to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
You feel lightheaded. You feel dizzy. You feel like you're gonna throw up, and you have to get back into the next set. And that's why guys don't do it. It's just too tough. They get really big here, put on the skinny jeans, the long warm-ups and all that stuff. Nah. And if they were to run across a football field, up goes those legs, boom, and up goes those legs in the air like that. They look like this, woo, just like that. So
yeah. And you know, I would say that this doesn't even have to be like that. Or no, I'm saying that I said it will be like that, but it's more love using your legs.
Yeah.
I'll say me as a catcher, I'm always using my legs, but I know there's a lot of people out there, or at least a select few people out there, they simply do squats just to do it. You know, it's just, it feels right. You're on your legs all the time. And it, I feel like it wouldn't be right if you would just feel like weak, you know, weak down there. It just love doing squats. Doesn't have to be like rigorous, like, oh, put some pounds on there, just rep it out. You could simply just do it body weight, some lightweight, but just love doing squats, you know? Squats, lunges, what was it? The leg pull, leg curl, or wait, leg extension. There you go, leg extension. Just love using your legs, you know, because it's a thing that you're gonna be on your whole life. And then of course this comes with it too. Like what he says, isometrically sound, everything looks perfect, you know? And then me, I still got some work to do, but I feel good though. I feel good here. I feel good down here because I've been doing some abs recently. I feel really good. I just got to get rid of that fat to make it look nice. And then here, just got to keep them, maintained because I feel comfortable with what I got. I feel like I get down quick enough because sometimes you get too heavy, you get down a little too slow, you know? But you got to make sure you get back to back. And then once you get to that perfect shape, you just maintain it. You just keep on working, maintain it, and just keep on running or keep on conditioning yourself, and you're gonna be that perfect player.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got to get in the weight room. If not, you're just a regular player. You're just a regular player. There's some guys that are up there in these next levels that have some real core strength. They're not the biggest guys on the field, but they're electric. But it comes from the core.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from here, and they rip balls out the yard. They're banging the back gate. They got the line drives going and things like that. But you have to get strong. You can't just go out there and be playing with heart and mind. I want to play baseball. I love baseball. And you go out there and get reps. Everybody can catch. Everybody can throw. Everybody can basically hit. But it's the guy that's going to stand out, that's going to get to that ball defensively, or the guy that's going to put the ball in play and put it with some power, or put the ball in play. That's going to win the game. That's what these coaches want. Anything?
You know what I was thinking about a few weeks ago? I think the reason why I had such a strong arm was because I was hitting that basketball. Because I was hitting the tire.
Yeah.
I feel like that was one of the reasons why I have such a strong arm. And some of my throws did come directly from my arm, but recently I've been feeling more of my core in my throws, and my throws become so much harder. So I feel like because of the core work that I did hitting the basketball, hitting the tire, doing all those bat drills came from the core, you know? Yeah. I feel that's why I have a strong arm.
When he was a kid, like he said, I had him hit a basketball. It was part of our hitting off the tee, our hitting drills. He would hit a basketball where you take some of the air out, but it had a donut on the bat. So it was 3 sets of that. And then also we hit tires. We hit tires before we even start hitting balls. With the donut on the bat, you learn to hit with your hip. You learn just pure power, because if you don't control it, then the bat will control you and start throwing you around. But once you learn to throw all that weight and make perfect contact, that ball is just going to jump off the bat. And your miss hits are going to look like eggs going through the field, and guys are not really going to want to sit in front of it. The ball looks like an egg because you went over the top, and now it looks like it has so much topspin that they know any second it's going to hit that next piece of dirt, that next bump, and it's going to jump up in my mouth. So they kind of go like this at it, or only the real generals smother it. You know what I mean? But those, coming up, the younger guys are going to kind of do like this or get out of the way. But that comes from pure power. A couple more things. I want to ask you, how is college? How are you handling class and your uh, your sports? How is that? How's the balance on that? Is it tough? Is it challenging? Is it easy? Do you have time?
Oh, I'll start first with actually I'll start first with academics. It's only hard if you're not into it, you know? Because I feel like there'll be always that class you just don't want to do, but as long as you're studying, that midterm, that final test, any test to be, for example, is gonna be easy. And there was one time back in college, there was a test I did not study for, and that was the only test there that I actually got a bad grade on. I think I got a C on that test. But every other test that I did study for, easy. I knew all the answers, I knew all the formulas, and that's the thing about me. I like math. Math is my only, not my only, but yes, is the only thing, is the only subject that I actually enjoy doing, and can't say that for a lot of people. Of course, reading is easy. Simply just read it, and then some people say reading is easy, but there's like a fine line between what you're reading and then what you have to answer, which could get some people confused. But other than that, it's more just study, you know? And it's not rigorous amounts of studying like an hour, or an hour is normal. And like 2 hours, 3 hours, just like an hour worth of just studying what you need to learn about. And you just do that every day, just an hour every day. Sometimes maybe 30 minutes if you don't have enough time. And it will all add up to when you get to that midterm, your final test, and you'll just know it. It just comes right off the top of your head. Some questions, maybe you just didn't really learn, and it'll take some time, but trust me, it will be worth it in the end. And that's one. And then two would be, make sure you get out there. Make sure you go talk to people, learn social skills. That's where I learned most of my social skills at. Because best believe, if Dad told me to make an interview before I went to high school, I would not be talking.
Yeah, he didn't talk them. He didn't talk this one. Nowhere near. He didn't talk. He was always listening and everything.
Yeah, but it'll be just learn how to become social, join different groups, yeah, join different groups, and then that's about it for that. And then baseball wise, oh no, first time wise, if you're doing sports and academics, and some people do even work study, I think with the work study you will have, you wouldn't really have enough time. But with just the sports plus additional training after, which will be like an hour or 2 hours plus academics, you'll still have more than enough time to do whatever you want to do, which will more likely be either studying, hanging out with some friends, or simply just sleeping. Me, I chose a little bit of studying, sometimes hanging out, and then just sleep. So you should have enough time. Because me, my first semester, I think I had like 7 classes, and that's a lot. I had 5 50-minute classes, and then 2 1 hour, an hour and a half classes. But usually they're spread out throughout the week. Um, oh, that too. But I'll get to that next. But you should have enough time for everything, unless you really just want to get through school. You're doing sports and you want to get through your classes. Then you could just pack on, but you should have enough time to do everything you need to do. Some days you might not. There will be that day you just like, I don't have any time for anything. I just need to sleep, or you just need to cram. But that'll be my thing. And then when you choose your classes, everybody has their own preference. Like me, um, sometimes I like staying up at night, uh, and sometimes I will stay up at night even if I put my alarm 10 p.m. Get to bed. Sometimes I just can't sleep, and I just have to do something, which will either just be I just go sit outside for a little bit, or just listen to some music. Um, But me, I like my classes between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that's it. Everything has to fit in there. If not, I had this one class that was 8 a.m. It was a struggle to get out of bed for that class. It was a strugg. Maybe 9 a.m. maybe, but mainly 10 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m.
What time was practice?
Practice was at 3:30. So that 4 p.m. class, what was it? That 4 p.m. class would probably just be I just go to practice and then work out for like 20, 25 minutes, go to class, and then just come back to practice. Yeah.
Practice, what do you mean work out for 20, 25 minutes?
Because what I'll usually do is I would go to practice first,
Yeah.
do my little it'll mainly just be stretches and then some throwing, and then after we're done throwing, then I'll just head to class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then also that too, some professors have leeway. So what they'll do if they know that you're playing sports or that you're doing anything important on campus, they'll be like, "You're cool, you're good." They won't exempt you from class, but they'll give you some time to get to class. So I got lucky with that. So for example, my 4 p.m. class, what was it? She would tell me, "Hey, you're on baseball, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just came from practice." Like, "Oh, it's cool. You come around like 4:20, and I'll just give you all the work that you need to do, and then you head back to practice." Like, "Oh, perfect." So that's pretty much what she did. She would I'll get there at 4 o'clock. She'll give me the work, and then I'll just take it with me, put it in my bag, and just head right back to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell your story as a parent, how I think college is pretty easy to get into.
Mm-hmm.
I think college is pretty easy. It's not as difficult as you think. High school high school athletes and, leading into high school, this whole pressure about going D1, want to go D1 and Division I and Division II and these divisions. Like he said, D1, D2, D3, not necessarily that it doesn't matter because everybody can throw. These guys can throw, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that had me raise my eyebrows is in the middle of the season, he said, "Dad, these guys can throw. These guys can throw up here." And he's got a really good arm. That's one of the things that, has always been a highlight for him from other coaches I've heard. They say, "Man, your son has got a tremendous arm." And for him to be able to throw as well as he does or as hard as he does, for him to come back and say, "Dad, these guys can throw," it's a serious thing. So like I said, your preparation, it's not, these leagues and things that you're in, dominate them. You must dominate them. And then have that mindset in your head that there's better out there. There's some guys that can really get that ball going and also too can twist it and make balls like just drop off the table. And if you can't handle that, your career stops right there. Right there. It basically does. Because if there's 10 guys out there on 10 different teams and they sit you down every single time you go out there, that's it. The coach can't have you on the team because you care about being on the team, because you love being on the team. You have to show that you belong on the team. You have the skills to do it. And that takes preparation. So there's really no days off. Monday through Friday, you're working, you're practicing. If you want to go and hang out Friday night with your friends, go watch a movie, unwind, go do it. But Saturday morning, when you wake up, you get up, have your bowl of cereal or your eggs or whatever it is, your breakfast, not too heavy, but you should be in the batting cage or on the field. If you feel throughout the week, I needed to work on my backhand, I missed a lot, or I just want to feel better with my backhand, I want to feel better with my forehand, I want to feel better with my groundwork, my fly balls, and also too my hitting. And that's going to bring me to one more question, and then we'll shut this down. But your hitting, you have to go in there and make sure your hitting is right for Monday. Whatever problems you had throughout the week, you got to use your Saturday mornings to go out there. If you don't have a game, you got to go out there find a partner, find a friend or someone, and go out there and fine tune what you need to fine tune, and then you can go to the beach. The Saturdays and the weekends are for you to unwind, if you don't have a game. But Saturday morning is so important. And the idea is to get up at 9 o'clock and go in there from 9 to 11 and work, come out, shower, thing like that, and call up the crew. What part of the beach are we going to? And go out there and chill out. Chill out. Go relax with your friends, have a good time. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a father, as a coach, and as one of the boys on the street, the alcohol can get you into a lot of trouble. It can get you into a lot of trouble, and most importantly, it'll take your dreams away. Once you get involved with alcohol, um, that's it. I've seen guys on his team throwing up at the same time. One is throwing up in the outfield, and one is throwing up at third base. It's over. It's over. And don't get into it. Don't get into it. Me personally, I saw what drugs can do. I did not get involved with drugs. I didn't have my first drink until I was 26 years old. I saw what drugs can do to a person, and it's the worst thing that can happen to a family. It's the worst thing that can happen to a family, because the person that is on drugs doesn't even know what they're doing. They don't even know that they're destroying the people around them, the families around them. They're stealing. They're taking money out your wallet. They're pawning your jewelry. They're selling your bike, and they slowly lose everything because of this vice, this thing. And the alcohol is pretty much the same. You can always tell when a man is just not at 100%. He's coming out, and his eyes, you can see it in his eyes. You can see he's sweating. If it was up to me, if I was a professional coach, I'd have a breathalyzer every Monday, every day at practice, every day. And if you come with your thing up, with your numbers elevated, go home. And when you go home, I'm telling this guy now, guy number 2, get in there. And he's been dying. He's been dying for you to screw up. And once he gets in there, he's locked in, because I'm going to teach him how to do it. And this person is going to pay. This person's going to come back and have to come back like Superman. If not, if he comes back the same way he was or whatever, you're just going to have to get in line and wait for him to screw up now. That's just how I feel. So the alcohol and thing, I'm not going to call any names out and thing like that, but I've heard some stories, thing like that. And that's part of the reason why teams are not that great, especially when you go to college. When you go to college, there's no parent there to tell you what to do, and you can do whatever you want. But once you get involved into that alcohol thing, that horse leaves the stable. That horse, as soon as you take that first sip, that horse takes off and leaves the stable. And now every day for the rest of your life, people who drink are chasing that horse. And now their focus is on that drink and on that alcohol so much that the thing that they used to that they loved takes a back seat. And once this takes a back seat, this guy's just as good as you. He's just as good as you are, and he's waiting for you to screw up enough times where the coach says, get in there. And once he gets in there, that's it. Look at Joe Montana from San Francisco 49ers. Hall of Fame quarterback. Everybody knows who Joe Montana was, but the day that Joe Montana had to sit down and Steve Young came off the bench, Joe Montana never saw the field again. And Steve Young went to the Super Bowl and won it 3 times, 3 or 4 times. I can't remember how many times he won it. So, we did this interview today, man, so everybody can get a taste and a feel for the journey that my son has gone on, that we've gone on together, the ups and the downs. And the reason why we're doing this interview is to get rid of some of the downs, and so you guys can stay like this. We're doing it because we want to see you make it. We want to see you make it. He knows what the hard work is, and he knows once you dedicate yourself to the discipline of it, you win. He's got this is his first year in college. He's got 3 more to go. He's still learning, and then you got 2, 3 more of the minors. That's a lot of baseball to go, a lot of sports to go and do. So have your discipline. If you have any questions or you have anything you want to talk with me about, I'm right here. Ask me, coach. I would love to help you, man. It's a 305 Miami. We got to do our own. Everybody else outside, we got Jacksonville, we got Orlando, we got New York, Chicago, thing like that. We want to see you all make it, man. This is your time, and we want to see you. I want to see you guys playing my son out there, and then I want to see you guys playing, little brothers and and thing like that. I want to see you guys out there, man. And when you see us, just come and say, yo, what's up, coach?
Mm-hmm.
You know, appreciate the interview and all the information that you gave us.
Yeah. And then one last thing, it would be just a lesson for anybody, high school, middle school, college, even people that simply just come across this one. Just make sure you have an agenda for everything, because time is everything. Where we have very, very little of it. 100 years, 80 years is not a lot of time. It goes by really quick. Few months goes by really quick. But make sure that the time you have is used to the max. And I would say my lesson that I learned these past at least this past 2 years would be know when to eat, know when to sleep, and then know at least this past summer, know when you want to train, know when you want to relax, and then know when you want to go out. So I'll give you my little thing. Wake up around 9 o'clock. You know, wake up around 9 o'clock. Go eat. Get a bowl of cereal. Eat at 9 o'clock or eat like 9:30. You know, go brush your teeth. Go take a shower, and then just make sure you eat something light though. Something light. Brush your teeth. Take a shower, and then you wake up. You relax for a little bit, probably until like maybe 10, 11 o'clock. See how it looks outside. Go outside. Go for a run, you know, or at least go for a run before you take the shower. I forgot about that. Run and then go take a shower, and then you'll feel good for the day, and then you just come back, relax for a little bit. It's a little too hot outside to go and train, so you just relax unless you want to go to the gym. That's what I did. What was it? There was some days either I'll just run, or some days I would actually just go to the gym to go run and then train. And then after that, you'll come back home, then you can relax, take a nap, and then you would eat again around 2 or 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 p.m. That'll give you enough time to survive for the next few hours, all the way until 8 o'clock. But then what I did really was I would eat a little bit of food at 8 o'clock, because that's usually the peak time when I could go to the gym, because the gym is pretty much empty around 9 to 11 p.m. So then I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I would eat a little bit, just a little bit of food, a little bit of protein mainly, and then go to the gym, go work out. No, first I would stretch, and then I would run, and then I would work out, and then I would go in the sauna. I start finding out about the sauna, go to the sauna for at least like 5-10 minutes. And then after that, it should be around like 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock if I was dawdling a little bit. And then after that, then you go home, finish up the rest of the food, and then just relax for like the next 2.5 hours, and then boom, you should be in bed probably around like maybe 1 o'clock if you want to stay up a little later, 2 o'clock, and then after that, just then it refreshes. So just mainly have an agenda for everything in that day.
Yeah. Before he left for school, and how I raised him is, if you guys want to see the professional level, if you want to be at the top, it's like a triangle, or it's like a pyramid. Down here is where everybody starts, all the leagues, and everybody's on the team. But after a while, to get to this next level, you're going to see it's going to get smaller. People are going to fall off because, one, of interest, not really interested in the sport. It gets tougher condition wise and things like that. They don't feel like working out as much. And then it's going to get higher and higher. You're going to have guys that are really not up for all of that conditioning and all that weight lifting and everything that it takes, the nutrition part. But as you get into this top part right here, to get here, right here, that last 5% is going to take all of you. It's going to take all of you. And I'll tell you a story of a player that I heard. He went up, and respect to this player, man. And I'm only telling you because I know he would want you to hear it, so you learn from it, so it doesn't happen to you. But he got called up to the to the majors. He got called up. He was in the minors for like 2 years, and he got called up, and he got sent back in a day. He got sent back the same day. You know what it is to go your whole life saying, I'm going to go pro, and you walk the walk, talk the talk, and make it. Get all the way up there, go through high school, go through college, 4 years of college, go to 2 years of minors, and then you get that phone call to come up. That's a dream come true. That's a real dream come true. Like it's happening. I'm going up. And then to go all the way up there, and in a day they send you back, that's rough. That's rough. And then you have to look back on the things that man did. Was he drinking? Was he partying a couple nights? Did he stay up too late? Was he staying up late or didn't do this or didn't? You're talking about the elite. You're talking about the top 5% in the world where 30,000 people pay anywhere from $20 a ticket to $3,000 a ticket to watch professionals play. You can't go out on that stage and screw up. You can't screw up too many times. The whole place goes, they came to see pros. And in order to be a pro, your discipline has to be in order. Your discipline has to be in order. Your food has to be right. Your room has to be right. Your car has to be right. Your books have to be right. Your grades have to be right. Your choice of friends and language and all your habits have to be of the best. That's the only way to get that far, to even get through the door. It's going to have to be like that. So the reason why we're doing this thing is for you all to start now. Start now. Don't wait till the tryout or the showcase and all of a sudden 2 months before, a month before you start training. A coach can see it right away. He can see it's your lifestyle. He can see by the way you walk out the car, the way you're dressed, the whole wearing flip-flops to the park and all that stuff. I wouldn't. You're not ready. You're still in sleep mode. So we're going to do more of these interviews. My son has got to go. He's actually got to get on the road by 10, 11 o'clock. I don't know how that's going to happen now. He's got so much to do. But he stopped by, man. He made time. This is a last-minute decision to do this interview, and we did it for you all. I got to know my son a little bit better on this interview. So parents, allow your kids to talk, sit down. And here's another thing. Don't watch. Here's a way for you to learn what your family is about. What's on their mind is when you're having dinner, sit together. Have dinner together. Have dinner together. Give thanks. You're here like this, and you pray. Thank you, Father, for everything that you've made, everything that you've done for us. And you leave this hand open for everybody else that's out there. Don't have the TV on. Turn the TV off. If you're Hispanic, moms and dads, play your culture, play your old school music so the kids can learn. These kids have no idea. If you're not playing it, they have no idea, and the culture will get lost. The tradition and the roots and everything that's inside of you will get lost. But when you sit at that dinner table and that TV's off, and all you have to do is just ask one question: how was your day? The whole thing opens up. The whole thing. How was practice today? The whole thing opens up. Everybody starts talking, and it's the best time. You're going to find that dinner is over and you guys are still sitting at the table just chopping it up. And do that every night, man. And we got to get back to our roots, get back to our foundation, because it's getting carried away with this phone thing. And also too, lastly, these phones, you guys put these phones down. If you're not learning something new from the phone, if you're not studying something from the phone, put it down. Let's do these push-ups. Let's do these sit-ups. Let's do these planks. Let's do these lunges. Let's do these frog hops. Let's get in the gym. Let's train. You're talking about being the best. And there's, I don't know how many millions of guys that are out there playing ball, but you got to get to the top through all those millions. So you guys put in the work, man. And that's it. You guys have any questions and things like that, put it there. My son, he's going to go to school now. He's going to head up. He's going to, 9-hour drive. And we'll do this throughout the year, interview him and stuff like that, and we can ask him a lot of any questions you guys have. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Joshua, my son, you guys. Mm-hmm. All right. Peace.